Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a bookshelf tour here on the channel in preparation for you all roasting me. How exciting! Because we're going to go through and do a detailed shelf tour. And in the comments here, I will be looking through your roasts for a follow-up video here on the second channel. How fun. But we're also going to be doing another main channel bookshelf roast soon. So if you want to submit your shelves to be roasted, just be sure to join the Discord server, link down below. Submit your shelves in the bookshelf section, and I will be roasting them before too long. I wanted to do that way sooner. It's just been a very busy time. When's it not? Let's get into it, shall we? The only changes from what you're going to be seeing in this shelf tour is one, this section up here is kind of acting as my reminder for like a TBR, what I want to get to. So books may be swapped in and out there regularly. We're also going to be getting some curtains that should come at the end here, I think from West Elm. I don't know, those haven't been delivered yet. And then finally, maybe not even in the shot you'll actually be seeing, but there will be additional low to the actual ground shelves installed for just various knackage and other books to be placed on. Since we did like the facing out more shallow shelves, I had like a remarkable number of comments asking if I got rid of a ton of books. I exist outside the office. The books exist outside the office. We're in a house, not a condo now, so there was just a separate room with a lot of books that were kind of in storage, kind of making a library. And that was the deal. I don't know why so many people just assume because book not in shot, book gone? No. Book safe. All right. But let's go ahead and start with the actual tour. So up here, as I said, it's kind of like my TBR reminder section. We have the Empire's Ruin. I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons because I really want to review The Last Unicorn on the channel. We also have Orconomics because I want to review the sequel, Son of Lich. Then we have Stephen King's It, not because I want to re-review it, but I just want to get to more Stephen King in general this year. I'm a big King fan, and I haven't had time to read him in ages, so it's a for me thing. Then we have Bury Your Gaze, because I want to get to Camp Damascus. Then we have the trilogy, Northern War, Shackled Fates, and Slaughtered Gods. I actually haven't heard a ton about this series. It was just one that literally the covers caught my eyes, and I was like, maybe. Then we have Blood and Fire by Ryan Cahill. I want to read Ryan Cahill in general because I've just heard so many good things about him in the especially like fresh new author space. Then we have Sword of Shannara trilogy because I want to read the third book trilogy. Jesus, Daniel. As I've gotten through the first two. And then The Wolf of Oren Yarrow, all three books of the Chronicles of the Wolf Queen, because the first book I liked, and I want to actually finish this trilogy. It's funny, I'm looking at this trilogy, and in my brain, I'm like, oh no, that's like another big series. I think all the books together, it's still not Wind and Truth length. It's amazing how much reading a book this size of Wind and Truth can like slow down production on the channel. So 2025, for my own sanity, for my own sake, I phrased this poorly in the Fantasy Awards. People are like, oh no, read what you want. I want to read like smaller, more consumable fantasy books, and it's like for a selfish reason. It's for me, so I can keep my sanity. So I'm going to be avoiding the thickum epics in 2025 and trying to get through like more general mass audience consumable stuff. Anyway, then we have Rob J. Hayes' Spirits of Vengeance, because I want to get to more Rob J. Hayes. He was one of the first indie authors to really catch my eye, and that was also, it's just like a stunning cover. And then we have The Exorcist, because I've never read the book. I didn't even know it was based off a book until embarrassingly I was well into adulthood. We have Christopher Paolini's Fractal Noise, and then like it's in the shot, so this is just me putting a bunch of beautiful things where I have like 1984 from Folio. We have Folio's Frankenstein, Cyberpunk, no coincidence, total tangent no one's asking for. I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077 again. It's so good now. Like they updated the game, they fixed all of the problems, not all, but like most, and Phantom Liberty was so just expanding on the story, the world, the characters were great. It was a little weird that you're dealing with like the president, but at the same time, worked out. I think Phantom Liberty was a really quality DLC, and I wish this book was better. Then we have The Expanse, not all in hardback because I just haven't gotten them yet, but I like that this adds a little bit of like to the shelf. Before we have Mushroom Blues, which is high on my TBR this year. And then we have a very nice special edition of Sherlock Holmes that was given me by somebody I think I still need to return an email from. Oops, I'm always behind on my email. Then we have Terry Pratchett, which I wanted to be, actually, no, first we have a little bit of knackage. I was walking in a market in Boston and I saw this like weird Rubik's Cube that falls apart into like different shapes. Focus. And I really liked it. I don't know how common these are or anything, but to me it just looked like a sci-fi object of some variety. And so I wanted that for my shelf. Knackage reminded me of like 2001 and other weird stuff. Then we have Terry Pratchett giving my goblin a hug. This is a metaphor for me because reading Discworld is like a hug. I'm weird. And I just love these, especially the hardbacks, these small hardbacks I got while I was in the UK. They are the best editions of Discworld I've seen. And they're a really well done, cheap-ish hardback. I think these were €15 per, less than that maybe, and worked out extremely well. Big fans. Then we have a trilogy I really want to finish from James Islington. Oh, I actually need to put James Islington's other book near it. Oh, I need to do some rearranging. Damn. I loved Will of the Many so much. I know I didn't love The Shadow of What Was Lost when I first came across it, but because I enjoyed Will of the Many so much, I want to finish this trilogy. And also from a color perspective, I feel like having a pop of white here looks nice. My only criticisms of these spines, there's birds on each one. Should have been 1 bird in the first book, 2 bird in the second book, 3 bird in the third book. Instead, it's 3, 3, 2. If I have these in the right order, I think I put falls in last because, like, you always put falls in the last book of a series, right? At least for Leviathan, Wakes falls. Anyway, so these are really nice spines. Well done, aside from the smallest note. Then we have Le Guin, because if you don't have Le Guin on a fantasy shelf, fuck you. No, we have a little bit of Martin here. I should have the full Game of Thrones series. I just haven't found a set of Game of Thrones that I've really loved. So I have the Juniper ones. They're maybe my least favorite Juniper books, to be fair, because they're just so brown and kind of mud looking. So I don't have those because I don't want something that's like the color of mud. So instead they're downstairs on a separate library shelf we have. Then we have the Inheritance Cycle from Christopher Paolini, which I actually really appreciate the color palette they chose for these. Simple, basic, but they're consistent. They didn't change shit, which in the publishing space is surprisingly rare. So good on you for doing the bare minimum. And the last thing on this is, of course, the Goblin logo that Kayla had made for me that I love so much. Then we have Plant, which I need to get a better base for. It's fake because I cannot keep things alive aside from my cats. Cats are easier to keep alive than plants. That's a true thing. Here we have the series from R.J. Baker, the Tied Child trilogy. Perfectly honest, I have these here because they look really good. I do plan on reading them someday, but they're not an immediate read. Then we have The Doll Maker by Lynn Buchanan, because I do really want to read that soon, and it has a stunning back cover that I just like having there. I feel like it breaks up the colors really well. Then we have a foundational trilogy on the channel that I love, Brian McClellan's Powder Mage, which still are just some of the coolest covers, not only in gunpowder fantasy, but just fantasy in general. Like, look at those bad boys. Those are sexy. And I'll go ahead and show you the Doll Maker back cover. I love the cover as well, but I feel like for my shelf, that back cover looks really, really good. And then finally, we have our little stuffed goblin. I don't know who gave me this anymore. I get given a lot of little goblins. This is one of my favorite little ones, and I feel like he fits. Then we have Lev Grossman's The Standard Trilogy. I'm sure many of you have seen. And then we have also The Will of the Many by James Islington. Was it my favorite book of the year it came out? I think I said so. Yes, it was either this or what was the other one that came close? It was tied between two that I really loved. Then we have maybe the most beautiful cover of any book here, and that's going to be the Sword of Kagan from M.L. Wong on the Wraithmarked edition. It's so fucking pretty. This is an insanely good special edition from Wraithmark. I think they did it early in their career in publication, but it's still the one that, like, in my opinion, might hold up the highest, and big surprise, they got Felix Ortiz for it. So, you know, it looks outstanding. Then we have the Berserk special editions, which it's funny. I am always worried that having this just like black void on the shelf will look bad on the shot, but because of the red highlights, it ends up looking like some of the coolest books on the shelf. So neat. I'm now noticing there might be a slight imbalance of knackage where I have more on this shelf and less over here. So I'm gonna take this. This is Sanji's lighter from One Piece. Kayla actually just got this for me for Christmas. I really like it. And it makes a good flame. Oh, wait, hold up. It makes a good flame, as you can tell. Cool lighter. That's a good... Well, no, that's not visible on camera. Haha! There you go. Sanji. I always... Ah! I want to have some kind of One Piece reference despite not having the manga. Hello, we've adjusted shot and everything's in shot. Jace.
Not entirely.
Let's start from the bottom up this time. We're changing. In the very corner here, we have Carmilla, because starting off this just like weird fantasy area. I don't know. I didn't have like a really running theme here aside from just these are weird books I love. One of the first ever vampire tellings. Then we have one I haven't gotten to, but I really want to, which is going to be The Keeper of the Night. I've heard a lot about this book of varying opinions. And whenever, like, when a book is universally praised, I'm like, I'll get to it. When a book is crapped on, I probably won't. But when a book has, like, varying thoughts, that's when my brain goes, I want to have thoughts. And also just, like, look at that cover. Look at that cover, baby. Just a good cover. Then we have the standard hardback of Poppy War. We've all seen those. We all like those. And then, oh my lord, I might be doing a special edition review here on the second channel soon, and in doing so, I'm gonna have a lot to say about Zamil Akhtar's special edition. This Gunmetal God special edition is one of the nicest I've ever held. He did an incredible job making sure that these look special and really are filled with the kind of things I look for in a special edition personally. Then we have the jacketless Greenbone Saga, because I just like the way these colors look more. I'm not a big dust jacket guy, unless you are like the Grace of Kings, but we're not going to get there yet, or should I say the Dandelion Dynasty. We also have Untethered by Fonda Lee. Just wanted to finish off my Fonda collection up here. It also filled in a nice little gap I had. Then we have Mark of Kings by Bryce O'Connor and Luke Chelemenko, which is just another really, really nice Wraithmarked edition. I might move to be next to my Sword of Kagan, now that I think about it. And then finally, this is the best thing that, in my opinion, Broken Binding has ever done, because I think these are the Broken Binding editions, yes, of Dandelion Dynasty. Holy God. And I'm now finished with the second Dandelion Dynasty book, and if the third and fourth book hold up to be as good as the first two, there is a dangerous, dangerous concern we could have a new top 10 all-time favorite. I love, and I get it won't be everyone's tea. We'll talk about more than that in the long-form series review, but I personally love what Ken Liu is doing in terms of presenting truly an era of history through a fantasy world. Then in terms of knackage, someone left this for me at Dragonsteel, and it's so cool. I don't know if I'll get to the book that it was left with, but I at least wanted to give them a little shout out for leaving me my little bell man. He's so creepy but cute. I love creepy cute. Then we have the Folio Society, His Dark Materials. I'm sure you've seen these around, or I've showed them before on camera, so I won't bother. Then we have just a few other folios I've definitely shown on camera before, like Small Gods, Mort, Guards, which actually this is just a not folio one, but a really nice Guards you can get through the website that does a whole lot of like standard special edition stuff for Discworld. Then we have the folios. Oh my God, it's not. I refer to the Fitz series as the Fitz up series. That's not what it's called. It's called not Assassin's Apprentice is the name of the first book. Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank on this? What is the Fitz series? Farseer Trilogy. Okay, cool. Got it. Then we have an aloe plant, because, you know, you need to have a couple plants on shelves. They bring life to the dead paper that you have scattered throughout. Then we have the standard hardbacks for the First Law trilogy and the second trilogy as well. I might bring in the standalones here. I kind of like just having the Wisdom of Crowds face out. Let me know what you all think about that. I could be convinced either way, although this is kind of providing a nice little nook to hide a light switch back there, and so that's also good. And then on the second shelf, of course, we have the Nurge Forge Wheel of Time, the best thing that's ever been given to me. I actually had the absolute pleasure of meeting the both of them at Dragonsteel. They are just as nice in person as they come across on camera. Wonderful, wonderful people. And again, thank you so much for giving me the nicest Wheel of Time set, in my opinion, in existence. I want to touch it a lot, always. Sometimes you will find me in my office staring at it for long periods of time. Up next, we have a little goblin that I make eat a little biscuit, because I think that's cute. But he's my little stretch mouth goblin that I'm a big fan of. Maybe my favorite non-stuffed goblin I've ever been given. He's a cutie pie. He weirdly scares Pips if I put him on the floor, which I get it. He's kind of scary. Then we got the Sander shelf. very much so what you should expect. Just going from actually, let's switch Warbreaker to Elantris. I don't know why, but I think of Elantris before Warbreaker, so let's do that swap. So we have Elantris, Warbreaker, the Mistborn trilogy, the Way of Kings Volume 1 and 2, and then we have a Hand of the Grenade because there's no deeper reason aside from it's cool. So, and I can occasionally video pull a grenade on myself. And then we got the rest of the Sanderbander, followed up with a little typewriter. My mom gave me that this is like a simplex typewriter from way back, and it still works. I actually ran a piece of paper through it because stuff actually built in the past was built to last and work. And you spin this dial, find the letter you want to press it, and you feed the paper through. It's an amazing piece of little technology. I get that having the typewriters before was a little pretentious, so this is my way of having a sneaky typewriter in the back in a way that looks like some really awesome knackage. We also have a One Ring that I bought in London. They claimed, the sales guy anyway, that it was movie quality. I don't know if that's true, but I like the container, and so I will believe it. Followed up by Lord of the Rings, of course. And then we have my sci-fi kind of qualify that as much as you'd like shelf. Starting off with Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first 3 books in the new print. Fun fact, I did a giveaway. I already sent them off to someone in Tasmania of the trilogy, these same 3, when they released the next 3 covers. They didn't give me the next 3, though. They gave me these 3, and then I was like, oh, are you going to send me the next 3? And nothing ever came. So I need to buy the next 3 or 2 Dungeon Crawler Carls of this set on my own. Oh, and also in this corner here, I have the William Gibson Neuromancer series, which I can't remember the name of the actual series. I need to make that more visible. Then we have Don't Panic, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series, which I'm really excited to review the full series, hopefully in 2025. Then we have Clockwork Orange Folio. Then we have the Foundation Trilogy Folio. The War of the Worlds I made with Wraithmark Creative. I am so proud of this. It turned out just beautifully. Obviously, I'm biased, but I think this is the most pretty War of the Worlds on the market. And I love the size of it. It's so tiny. And the art we got is just, oh. Being an art director, you're as good as the artists you hire. For helping me find artists it's just unbelievable. Bryce also occasionally has his artists get poached by bigger, stronger competing people in the space, and I won't get into this in details because I don't know what Bryce wants me to share, but he's had artists he's worked with and like steadily, and then they get offers from like way bigger than Wraithmarked repeatedly, and he's like, good for you, that's awesome, damn it, because then they're busy. Then we have Sun Eater series with some Sun Eater standalones and the Sun Eater special edition, followed up by the Folio Society's Dune and Dune Messiah, with a little bit of a break with some vials of metal dice. I like tiny dice. Focus. I love tiny dice. I had these usually by Mistborn because like a little metal vial makes sense for Mistborn, but now it's up here by Murderbot. I want Murderbot on every shelf I ever own. Murderbot, I want to buy repeated... I need to stand up straight, damn it. I want to buy repeats of this set just to make sure it's on every shelf that I own. Because I love this series so much, and they're cute little novellas. Followed up by the Juniper Red Rising, which are still the coolest Red Rising set in my existence. Shards of Earth by Adrian Topchalski, and then my book, Neon Ghosts, which is also a Wraith-marked book. But now, fun fact, I'm not going to end it here. I'm going to take you on an adventure to see the rest of the bookshelves in my house. Let's go! Actually, before we do that, I know a lot of people have been asking me, how do I make my own shelf? Which is kind of a strange question to me because it's so easy. You go to Lowe's, you buy 2-inch or just under 2-inch wood that's at least 8 inches deep, and then you find the goddamn studs, and you put brackets in each and every single one so it can support the weight, and then you drill it in, and it's really that easy. It's the easiest thing ever. And no, I did not leave these holes in the wall. That's from the previous owner of the house, and I will fill those in. Thank you. Living in a home that's over 100 years old, we have this attic that's actually fortunately been finished. And one of my favorite shelves in the whole house is this little nook shelf that we have here. It's not entirely full because I just actually pulled some books from here to fill out my bookshelf. But so here we have this little nook of a shelf with some family photos going on. So you just walk up the stairs and you get a little snag a book, and then you get to go to our reading nook in the corner, and here's where we do a lot of the reading in the house. Nice little attic nook. This is not a finished room yet because we only moved in a few months ago, but it's well on its way to being the cozy ultimate reading space. And then there is one more bookshelf. Now, before I show you the final shelf I'll be showing you in our house, Kayla made me promise that I have to also say this is our part storage, part Magic the Gathering room. So it's not finished. This used to be a pantry, but now it is our library. Hello, Mako, cute little boy. So this is our library, which used to hold like dishes, but we have made our additional storage for books that have not made it into the actual shot. So a lot more are up in here, and there's our also Magic the Gathering collection. I run a, if you want to hate me, Krinko Commander. So yeah, I'm that guy, if you know what that means. Oh, I guess there's one other place I can show you a book. Right next to my gym where I work out, we have additional storage for books that just need to still find shelfage to be in. Yes, it's a total wreck disaster right now, but I'm just being honest. This is where a lot of books have ended up, at least for a minute, while we're getting more shelves put up throughout the house. And so don't judge us too hard, please. And be proud that I've been regularly working out in a basement. Yay! And fun fact, our house is old enough that there used to be a boiler here, and they filled it in, and now there's like this demonic summoning circle, and Kayla and I plan to jokingly spray paint a pentagram there, just cause, haha, it looks like a demonic summoning circle. So why not embrace it? Let's be Satanists! Ah!